I didn't know this would be the graduation ceremony. Actually, I'd like to thank the dean for being here. But yeah, it's such a joy to be here and in this city. David alluded to our erstwhile pop career, and the two of us came here to New York City like a ballistic missile to a target of the music industry, and we were going to do it. And we had great forces behind us, propelling us toward this target. And I had it all worked out. It was all in, And we had an amazing time. And I could regale you with stories of hanging out at the tops of these buildings, But thankfully, David was conspiring along with our mother to consciously and unconsciously to divert us to rooms and halls with a certain type of attentive listening and presence that you all bring here today. That's very emotional for me, And I'm sure you felt that too, coming in singing. There's just a sense of energy here that David brings together. And of course, it's not David. We're standing on this lineage, this ancestry, that's coming through us and coming through you here to be here. And I loved hearing about Mary Oliver's Only and cracking the invitation of Mary Oliver's Only. And this poem of Heaney's, I think, is a how-to of how to get through to Mary Oliver's Only. And yeah, Heaney was, like for many people in Ireland, he became the national poet, the contemporary voice of this Celtic lineage, whatever that word means. Nobody knows. The academics are at each other's throat trying to define what Celtic means. And if you go to the British Museum, like I did about 10 years ago, to a great Celtic exhibit, the last room tells you that the Celts didn't actually exist at all. And but there is something Celtic. One of the amazing images, I think, of what the Celtic imagination means is the Book of Kells, which you might be familiar with. The Book of Kells. The Book of Kells was written in the golden age of Irish history, the Irish monastic period around 1,000 years ago. And it is this book that has been illuminated in the most meticulous way, by these monks in gold and in these precious colors. It was a whole new technology at the time, actually. Ireland was like the Silicon Valley of its day, where it was producing this information technology that was being pumped back out to the world, after the fall of the Roman Empire. And these monks had perfected this extraordinary way of transmitting this story that had come out of the Middle East, out of Palestine. It was the Christian story. And when you look at the Book of Kells, you can forget that it's about the Bible, And if you might find a little Bible around here, it doesn't look anything like the Book of Kells. It's all black and white and very linear. But the Celtic imagination took this story and decided that they were going to go on a psychedelic magical mystery tour. And I think that's really one of the great hallmarks of the Celtic imagination, is that of the surreal approach, the absurd, and the hilarious take on this journey, this pilgrimage that we're all on together. And so Heaney focuses in on this poem. He focuses in on the image of the rain stick. And the rain stick is actually a Native American ritual instrument of a cactus with dry seeds, and you turn it up, and the seeds fall through the stalks within the cactus, and it enacts this sound, and the sound is there to attract this experience, this sensation, this auditory sensation. So Heaney is looking here at, and he's pointing to the element of water and to the sense of listening. And water and listening are very much the feminine senses. The visual is the masculine, penetrative sense of the visible world. And listening occurs within us, within the darkness, and it is receptive and receiving all the time. And water, too. Water is always associated with the goddess. All the rivers in Ireland are called after goddesses. And the ocean is the great mother. And the This is the image of water and of listening as the way to break through, the way to do the impossible, and to pass over that impossible threshold that seems beyond reach and unallowed to us. We're not permitted there. And we keep banging our head up against a wall like I was doing, chasing after the music industry up and down the canyons of this city. And all I had to do actually was to stop doing what I was doing and to open my ears and listen to the invitations that were being made to me and to my brother from extraordinary, enlightened souls like yourselves, to go and to be in places where our gifts would be appreciated. Yeah, and they were the same gifts, just different places, and we just had to find that place and allow the animal of our body to love what it loves. So this is Heaney's rain stick. And he says, upend the rain stick. Upend it. Upend the rain stick. And what happens next? What happens next is a music that you never would have known to listen for in a cactus stalk. Downpour, sluice rush, slippage, and backwash come flowing through. You stand there like a pipe being played by water. You shake it again lightly, and diminuendo runs through all its scales like a gutter stopping trickling. And now here comes a sprinkle of drops out of the freshened leaves, then subtle little wets off grass and daisies, and then glitter drizzle, almost breaths of air. Upend the stick again. And what happens next is undiminished for having happened once, twice, 10, 1,000 times before. Who cares if all the music that transpires is the sound of grit or dry seeds through a cactus? You are like a rich man entering heaven through the ear of a raindrop. Listen now again. So there's that biblical allusion. Heaney's doing the same thing the monks did, you know, that biblical koan, the riddle that it's easier for a rich man to enter heaven than for a camel to pass through the eye of a needle. And Heaney thinks to himself and says, well, let's play with that, you know. Upend the stick again, and what happens next is a music. And what happens next is undiminished for having happened once, twice, 10, 1,000 times before. Who cares if all the music that transpires is the sound of grit or dry seeds through a cactus? You are like a rich man entering heaven through the ear of a raindrop. You are like a rich woman entering heaven through the ear of a raindrop. We are rich and we're entering heaven through the ear of a raindrop. Listen now again. So thank you all. It's great to be here. We've found great friendships and relationships with people who are drawn to David's work here, and look forward to keeping in touch. And great to see so many familiar faces here this morning. So thank you. Thank you, David.